What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks, bringing you a video talking all about Talonflame in Ultra League today. Ultra League does drop today, a little bit after you'll be seeing this video most likely, and Talonflame is going to be everywhere. Whether or not you're going to run it, you just need to be aware that Talonflame is going to be everywhere because we had the Talonflame Community Day. People were able to farm up a lot of XL candies, and so it's going to be a very common pick in Ultra Premier and Open Ultra League. So all the battles that I'm showcasing in today's video are in the Ultra Premier format, and they're just some practice battles that I did with some of my patrons, just trying a bunch of different team comps with Talonflame. Talonflame does have the moveset of Incinerate, Flame Charge, and Brave Bird. It's almost, I like to think of it as like a Charizard with a slightly better coverage move. Brave Bird being your coverage move just hits for so much strong neutral damage on a lot of things, and especially if you're able to ramp up your damage with Flame Charge, Talonflame can just absolutely sweep some teams. It's very similar to Typhlosion running Incinerate as well, but both moves, neither of them are expensive as Solar Beam, which Typhlosion has. So both moves are around the same energy cost there, which is pretty nice. Incinerate, as we know, does generate energy very quickly and does a lot of damage. However, it is a 5-turn fast move, so kind of slow and clunky. You do need to be careful on your tapping there to make sure that you don't accidentally over tap, because it definitely can cost you some matches here. But Talonflame is going to be a great response to Charmers, to the grass types. The only unfortunate thing is that against fighters, specifically like Machamp, you do need to watch out for that Rock Slide because you are double weak to Rock. So Rock Slide would essentially one-shot the Talonflame. Talonflame isn't super bulky. Obviously, if you're able to bring it up to level 50 with all the XL candies, it does reach a lot more bulk there. But it's not a super bulky Pokemon, so you do need to be aware of that. So we'll just kind of jump right into these battles, and I'm just going to talk through kind of the thought process behind some of these teams that I just threw together really fast. But we will have to see how Talonflame is going to play out in like today and tomorrow's battles, and kind of see how the meta is shaping up. People are either going to be running this Pokemon or they're going to be running fairly hard counters to it. That's what I'm assuming. The crazy thing is that even against some of the water types, you can win that matchup if you're able to successfully land the Brave Bird, which is pretty cool. So I have my Empoleon against this Magnezone, and unfortunately I barely lost track of my opponent's energy. They're able to land the Wild Charge, and then I'm not going to be able to take out this Gallade. Gallade is a very solid hard counter to Shadow Machamp. I think Shadow Machamp is going to have a lot of play this time around in the meta because since Talonflame is going to be common, most likely there's going to be less Charmers. Hopefully, we'll see, but this is a pretty decent lead for me. It is an Ice Shard Lapras, so I'm hitting for neutral. The Charizard's also hitting for neutral. My opponent swaps into an Obstagoon, and I don't have an immediate response to this, so I'm actually going to chip it with a Surf and then bring out my Talonflame. Now, if this Obstagoon is running Hyper Beam, I'm a little bit worried, so I'm actually just going to throw this Flame Charge right off the bat. They let it go through, and at this point, I'm fully committed to just shielding this Talonflame and going to kind of ride out this this damage boost here. So they bring out the Charizard. Whatever this is, I can survive. And I believe I actually go for a Flame Charge here because I would love to be able to get to another move. So I'm going to try to shield bait here. I don't want the Charizard to be able to like fire spin me down, so I don't want to drop my defense. I overfarm here, and then I was really hoping that they were throwing Dragon Claw, but really nice play by my opponent. I'm not able to get to another move. That's okay. I still have the alignment that I need. It's a Venusaur in the back. It does have a slight energy advantage, so you cannot farm this all the way down with Gallade. I have to throw some energy. So I'm just going to throw the Leaf Blade. Even though it's double resisted, I need to burn the shield, plus I need just this amount of chip damage to put it into a range where I could potentially confuse it down. But luckily the Venusaur is in range of being Ice Sharded down now, and I'll have just enough energy to get to this Surf against the Charizard, and this should be enough to take it out there. Nice, good game. Didn't have a direct response to the Obstagoon in that game. Alright, Talonflame lead into Gyarados. This is not great. So I'm actually running Talonflame, Umbreon, and then Abomasnow here. I really think that Talonflame and Abomasnow have a nice pairing together. The only thing you're going to need to look out for is, in fact, that Shadow Machamp, because Shadow Machamp can actually beat both of those Pokemon. I've noticed that like a lot of these cores that work really well with Talonflame actually share a double weakness to Crustle, Smackdown Crustle. So I think I just recently built a Crustle. I need some more XL candies to get it up to 2500, but I'm definitely thinking about running a Crustle and kind of seeing how that plays out. I also almost have this Umbreon fully XL'd here. I need a couple more XL candies to finish up that powering up, but XL Umbreon is another really fun pick in Ultra League, extremely bulky. So my Talonflame has energy. Whenever you can put Talonflame into a spot where you're able to farm something down with Incinerate, which is actually fairly easy to do because of how much damage Incinerate outputs, you're able to just rip off Brave Birds like that and then switch out and clear the debuff, and it's really, really strong. Very similar to like close combat. And so I'm going to throw this Weather Ball here against the Gallade. But at this point I know that I can just save both shields for Talonflame, and this should be able to clean up the game here. It should just be able to tap everything down with Incinerate. I forced my opponent to have to go for the close combat there, so they would have to drop their defense. Able to farm that down, and then I did save a shield for my Talonflame, thank goodness, because this Aqua Tail from the Gyarados would most likely KO from that health. Good game. Swampert into Empoleon. So if your Swampert doesn't have Earthquake, you can actually still just go straight Hydro in the 2 shield, but it's very, very close. Out comes a Gallade, so I'm going to burn a shield first and then bring my Talonflame out. Talonflame is actually a pretty decent response to these Gallade Safe Swaps, assuming that they are running Leaf Blade and Close Combat, because you're going to resist all of those moves. I'm up a shield, I have Switch Advantage. Out comes the Empoleon. I'm able to get to this Flame Charge. This will do a decent amount of neutral damage here. And then I know my Swampert will survive one Hydro Cannon, but I kind of want to keep it healthy to potentially burn a shield on whatever they have in the back. So I'm farming. Out comes Venusaur, and I'm just going to throw a Hydro Cannon, because I just need to put that into a range where I can potentially Confusion this down. So I'll shield this, and then Confusion this down, and then have a lot of energy to throw onto the Empoleon that's going to come back in. Very close to another Leaf Blade, so I believe my opponent just lets that go through. Good game. Talonflame Mirror Match. So this is kind of the game of, do you call the Brave Bird? Are you able to sneak in an extra Incinerate? So we both try to sneak in an extra one there, which is why we both overfarmed by 1, but I'm just going to go straight for the Flame Charge. And I get an extra Incinerate through right there, which is kind of crazy. I'm just going to shield this up. It actually does happen to be the Brave Bird. So I'm going to throw another Flame Charge. Their defense is dropped, so most likely it's going to shield. I'm now double boosted, and I get another Incinerate through, so I'm fully committed to just double shielding this. I do make a misplay here. I really wanted to just rip off as much damage as possible with this Talonflame, but I should have swapped into my Umbreon to try to catch a move here, but I just wanted to do as much damage with this Talonflame as possible. So it did a lot of damage. This is most likely Sludge Wave, and it will take out my Talonflame, unfortunately, but I'm going to be able to farm this with the Abomasnow. I wouldn't be able to Snarl it down before they would get to another move, so this is the safer option. If they bring in the Talonflame, I can do one more Powder Snow, then throw the Weather Ball, so none of this Incinerate damage gets registered onto my Abomasnow. And in the back is their own Abomasnow. I'm able to get an extra Powder Snow through there, but this is pretty much a good game. I have a full health Umbreon, which will clean this up as well. So this particular line, Talonflame, Umbreon, and Abomasnow, is like somewhat triple weak to Shadow Machamp. You'd have to get very creative on how you would handle that. But other than that, I feel like it's pretty well-rounded. Umbreon as a safe swap, definitely pretty interesting because not a lot of people have like XL Scrafties built in Ultra League. Obviously, once Scrafty becomes a lot more common, Umbreon won't nearly be as safe of a swap because it can be hard punished there. But all right, Mandibuzz in the lead. It is a Snarl Mandibuzz, and so my counters are really doing a lot of damage to this Mandibuzz. Gonna let that Aerial Ace go through because I know I can tank one. I'm just gonna go straight for the Rock Slide here. Cross Chop would only hit for neutral. And they actually shield because this was a CMP tie. So I will shield up this Aerial Ace, continue to overfarm. My opponent brings out a Surfetched. So I'm going to throw this Cross Chop. I get the final shield. And then I'm gonna bring out Mandibuzz here. Now, if this is a Brave Bird, I feel like I might barely survived. But it ends up just being a Leaf Blade. And so I'm just going to throw this Flame Charge. And it takes out the Surfetch. It's actually an XL Jellicent in the back. Oh my gosh. I knew this was just going to be a Bubble Beam, so I let it go through. And I overfarm a little bit more. Going to go for this Brave Bird here. Still does a lot of damage even though I got debuffed once, and I'm able to get to another Brave Bird. This will be able to take out the Jellicent, and then from here my switch clock is going to be up, so I'm just able to get into my Machamp, clear my debuff. This Rock Slide does hit for super effective, but Mandibuzz is insanely bulky. It easily tanks a Rock Slide from a Shadow Machamp. That is incredible. Good game. Talonflame into Alola Ninetales, and it is Powder Snow, so this is actually somewhat of a neutral matchup for Talonflame. I get an extra Incinerate through right there though, which is pretty huge. Talonflame does take neutral damage from Ice type attacks because of the Fire and Flying typing. So I get a shield. At this point I will shield this because I don't want to be Powder Snowed down. So I'm just going to throw another Flame Charge and see what they want to do here. Double shielded Talonflame in the lead. I'm totally fine with doing this because it's just going to output so much damage to whatever's in the back when shields are down. So I will shield this, and I'm able to farm it down. Out comes Mandibuzz. I'm just going to go for this Brave Bird. Double boosted. Does so much damage to the Mandibuzz, and then I'm able to catch a move on my Umbreon. I don't have a move stored on my Talonflame, but this is pretty much GG's from here. They have a XL Politoed in the back, and so my Abomasnow is going to be able to match up fairly well against that. You can see like XL Umbreon obviously is able to tank a lot of damage here. There's a case to be made that potentially you could run Dark Pulse instead of Foul Play just for a little bit more harder hitting charge moves. But the spamminess of Foul Play is kind of nice. Going to be able to throw another Foul Play onto this Politoed. I know that their Mandibuzz is pretty low. So at this point, I still survive a Weather Ball, and I'm most likely going to make a swap into my Abomasnow and get a jump start on farming this down. They swap into Mandibuzz as well, but I'm going to be able to Powder Snow this down and then land a move on the Politoed. So best of luck out there with your Ultra League battles today. Talonflame is going to be everywhere, so you can either run it or counter it, but be aware that lots of people are probably going to be running this Pokemon. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.